Start off by telling us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, and a little bit about your background.
I have a very untraditional background. I was born in Beeville, Texas, which is a small town outside of San Antonio. My dad was a government surveyor, so he did the longitude and latitude points with the surveying party. And I lived in small town America. I lived in 23 states by the time I was in 7th grade. We would move every 3 months. My mom would check me into a new school and say, "David, you better make a friend because we're leaving." But it was I think an idyllic upbringing because, we lived in a trailer. The biggest house I lived in was 8 feet wide by 46 feet long. But we would take the surveying party with us from town to town. So we'd travel with like 15 families. So you basically took your neighborhood with you in sort of like a traveling caravan. And when I played Little League baseball and sports, everybody would come out and watch my game. So I always had a lot of support. And I just thought everybody did it. But one of the great things about my upbringing is that it taught me how to move into new situations, work through anxieties, understand people. I think it helped me get some people skills that I might otherwise not have. My mother wanted me to go to high school in a place where I could go for all 4 years and not move. So my dad got promoted into a job in Kansas City, still working for the government. So I went to high school there and then ended up going to the University of Missouri. And that's where I found my passion, which is marketing and advertising. I did that at the University of Missouri School of Journalism. And from that point on, I started my career. I started out as an advertising copywriter in a very small advertising agency in 1974. My first job, I had a hamburger poster in the back corner. And my wife said that was a sign that I'd ultimately get in the fast food service. And that ultimately happened. But I worked my way up in the advertising agency business, ran the Frito-Lay account on the advertising side. Then that's how I ended up going to Pizza Hut, which was a part of PepsiCo. The CEO of Frito-Lay recommended me to the CEO of Pizza Hut. They were all part of the PepsiCo family. Said, "You ought to have this guy run your marketing." So I went and met with Steve Reineman, who later became the chairman of PepsiCo, and he offered me a job. And I ran marketing for Pizza Hut, did that for 4 years, then got promoted to run marketing sales for Pepsi. And I did that for 2 years. And then I wanted to be a division president for PepsiCo, and I realized I needed to get some operating experience. So I begged for the chief operating officer role, and I got to do that. And then I got promoted to be president of KFC. And then that's how I ultimately ended up being at Yum Brands. So apologize for the long story, but it was a big journey. I moved a lot of places.